So yesterday we witnessed the Malaysian Grand Prix, and I thought it was a pretty good way to start the opening bit of this season because Australia was a bit of a disappointment, what with the lack of cars on the grid and generally quite processional racing. But it was really really interesting race in terms of strategy. So what was the start of lap two? I think Raikkonen, his tyre blew up. So it was really interesting because not a lot of people spoke about this, but he finished fourth in the end, which was an amazing recovery considering how far behind he was. Granted, he had the safety car, but he did really well. But of course, everyone was talking about his teammate Sebastian Vettel. He did an absolutely amazing job. He would be my driver of the day. But yeah, I think considering the Ferrari on outright pace couldn't really win, it was an amazing performance to get that strategy right, and for Mercedes to get the strategy so terribly wrong and do another pit stop. So I think Ferrari's strategy was amazing, but a lot of people are talking about Ferrari are title contenders, and Ferrari can, challenge for the title, and Vettel is, suddenly given birth to a new era of Ferrari, with links to Schumacher, of course, and I think that's pretty premature, because Vettel's only been with the team for a few months, so it's a bit early to say. And also, this was very well done from Ferrari in terms of strategy. But if Mercedes just hadn't made huge errors and just run a normal strategy, they would have won the race. And it would have been Lewis Hamilton win the race, because Lewis Hamilton did a brilliant job. Considering the woeful strategy, he did an awful lot to combat the team's deficiencies and race his way back to second place, and only 80 seconds behind the leader by the end of the race. So I think that Mercedes are still definitely going to win the title, and it's going to be Lewis Hamilton. I don't think there's any question about it. But certainly Ferrari are definitely better, and McLaren is still woeful. They did put in a worse performance than they did in Australia. And they talked about making big leaps, but really doesn't. Still basically at the back of the grid. So really, I can't really see them having any glory at all this year. But an interesting fact is, it was Ferrari's first win in almost 2 years. So everyone's obviously getting excited. And it's Vettel's first win for over a year. So people treat this as a very special moment, which it is, but it's not transformational. Ferrari did a great job, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lewis Hamilton wins or Rosberg wins in China, and that's the way. At the end of the season, you'll look back and think that was a very small blip in basically a Mercedes-dominated season. So I think that's how things are going to pan out.